This is Garis, Masculist, MGTOW flyers, that is 2 3-page essays on the themes of masculism and MGTOW, written by and read aloud by Prof. Dr. Hugo de Garis. This is flyer number 530, part 2, entitled Feminists Coming to Terms with Masculist Rebellion. Carrying straight on. Feminists can expect a growing masculist tsunami rebellion coming in the next few years. It's only a question of time, that is, when, not if, since the number of masculists and MGTOWs just keeps growing and growing, judging by the number of masculist/MGTOW content providers on the internet, in brackets, that is, several hundred, who are educating millions of men into how women oppress men, and in fact worse than vice versa. The fluffy feminists in the divorce courts have become indirect genociders since they have made divorce so toxic for men. They have made marriage and paternity toxic for men, so are indirectly wiping out whole populations, since now in many countries 2/3 of young men refuse to marry and have kids, thus crashing the birth rate. But these young guys are merely reacting to the hated misandry of the hated fluffy feminists who control the divorce courts. These women have to be stopped with bullets if necessary. Of course, a sex war, a shooting war, is a drastic step, so the masculists will use more benign approaches at first, namely emotionally and intellectually crushing feminazi bigotry by haranguing feminazis out of the room with very angry, hateful, masculist diatribes, teaching these women that gender oppression is not a one-way street, and that in fact women oppress men worse, and that if women don't accept the men fairing of the gender laws, they will be punished by, quote, capital letters, not getting a man. Since a few years from now, there will be so many masculists and MGTOWs that women will not be able to express misandrist ideas in public, nor in conversations. Otherwise, they will have their fucking heads bitten off by very angry, hateful masculists who don't tolerate these women's sexist, hypocritical bigotry and yell at them with real male force. Women are 99.5% heterosexual. So nearly all feminists are dependent on men for their sex. At the moment, most of these feminist boyfriends are monoconscious. The only gender oppression that these men are aware of is men's oppression of women, that their feminist girlfriends have been brainwashing them with for decades. We masculists target these monoconscious male feminist boyfriends, teaching them masculist ideas so that these men become bi-conscious and then angry, then hateful at the ways that women oppress men, so that they become particularly angry at the sexist, hypocritical bigotry of their monoconscious feminist girlfriends, and then become disgusted with them and then dump them. A few years from now, there will be millions of such women, so the phenomenon of masculist dumping of feminist girlfriends will become well known and much discussed by women on the internet, so that millions of women will be forced to come to terms with the masculist rebellion against feminist misandry and feminist hypocrisy, given that women oppress men worse. When nearly all men have been masculisted and MGTOW'd, women will have no choice but to become bi-conscious, or they will totally rot on the shelf, and men will not be nice to them, since masculine and MGTOW'd men do not want to penis misandrist feminist bitches and don't go near them. This will force women to think twice about how women oppress men, so we can expect in the coming decade a growing number of female masculists who, in a manner similar to male feminists, share a certain sympathy towards the gender political ideology of the other sex, on humanitarian grounds. When millions of women are well educated as to how women oppress men, then some of these women will agree with the masculists and become female masculists, hoping to get a masculist into a relationship with her, Or, as she fears, given the ever-growing number of men becoming masculists and MGTOWs, she may become just another female rotting on the shelf, spat at by masculists for her misandrist hypocrisy. Cheers. Prof. Dr. Hugo de Garis. Email profhugodegaris@yahoo.com. Website profhugodegaris.wordpress.com. Author of the book Masculism, Men's Rebellion Against Being Man-Slaves to Women, an e-textbook of 530 plus masculist flyers for men's studies courses, freely downloadable in Microsoft Word format from my website. Ciao.